Hello everyone, welcome to this new series which is the Paradox Special, and along with Paradox we will be using one more pattern which is Cubine. A very beautiful version of Cubine was given by Maria in one of her recent project packs. You can also call it an extension of the pattern Dreamcatcher, where she arranged Cubines in different ways like shooting Cubines, blossoming Cubines, so many different ways, right? So we will explore Paradox and at the same time combine it with this Cubine, this version of Cubine in this current series. I will not be touching on how to draw the basic pattern Paradox in this series because this is a special series and we will be dedicating it more to drawing different tiles, right? There is a whole series dedicated specially to the pattern Paradox. The YouTube videos are already available on my channel and I did about 4 or 5 sessions on that. So you can always refer to that if you are new to the pattern Paradox. But this series we will be exploring new things, new arrangements, and combining Paradox primarily with a tangle called Cubine or an extension of Cubine, a Cubine tangulation, right? So let's get started. I have a Zendala in front of me and I'm going to take the help of my markers and add a few points, you know, about 8 of them. Yeah, so I have marked these two. I hope you can see it clearly. Yeah, right. And then I'm going to mark these two. So basically against all the zeros I'm adding one dot, and then I'm going to broadly with my free hand just join these lines. Yeah, like this. Yeah, so my marcus is now not required anymore, so we will be working on this Zendala, and today I am going to combine the pattern called nice along with Paradox, right? So as we know, nice starts with this kind of a grid and then we add these V shapes, right? So but the first thing that I am going to do is add the Cubine. Right, so I'm going to go like this, add a square at the end, go straight like this, add a square at the end, right? So you can just tangle along with me, just follow me, or you can watch the video and draw later. So this is more about having fun with two tangles, Cubine and Paradox. So taking Q from the line that I have already drawn and adding these kite shapes at the end of each of these lines and inking them at the same time. Yeah, the next is to make that Cubine smaller block inside the bigger square and then joining it like this, right? This one section is basically the pattern Cubine, and you generally draw it inside a grid, but again you can fit it into any kind of a space. You can give curve to the lines. Any kind of a grid, need not be a straight line grid also, right? So Cubine is also a pattern I have already done, and I have also shown how it looks different in different kinds of grids. So today we are exploring combining these two patterns and creating beautiful tiles. Yeah, so just enjoy the process. Take it easy, take deep breaths, relax. Slowly ink each section. Enjoy the process of inking. See the kind of boldness that it adds to your tile, right? So we are done with that exercise. Now I'm going to bring it straight down. So this is the interesting version of Cubine that I was talking about. Yeah. So don't bother if the lines are not too straight. That's okay. That's not the concern here. It will look nice anyways. In fact, we will be working on a version where we will give curve to the lines. Right? Done with that. Now what I am going to do is add the V in between these two and join it with the center. Just like we do for nice. Yeah. So generally when we draw a tile, I have noted that you can do justice with generally 2 or 3 tangles, although you can combine small tangles. Many of them you can introduce in between, but actually the highlight can be 2 or 3 tangles only at a time. Yeah. So these sections, each of these sections, I'm going to use the pattern paradox. Slowly aura inside, start from one point and give an angle to the line as you approach the end of the line, like this. Yeah, so do that exercise slowly. Again, come down a little angle as you approach the end of the line, straight line, deviate from the end like this, right? So this is the tangle paradox. Now this section, if you want, you can just add a moon. You can do that later on also. I'm just going to add some auras and a moon. Yeah, so let me do that for all. So again we'll start in the same fashion, like this. Again deviate a little as you approach the end of the line, give it a slight angle. They are slanting lines, right? Again come down, go back. So you can keep rotating the tile if you are not comfortable drawing like this. Since spaces are not very large here, I am able to do it without rotating, else you can rotate the tile also. Yeah. In fact, it would be nice if you rotate the tile with each line that you draw. I think I have added 4, so I'm going to stick to that. Yeah. Again, the third one. Yeah, again the same way, come down, give an angle to the line as you approach the end, follow the same sequence. So paradox is a pattern which can be drawn clockwise, which can be drawn anti-clockwise, and the way you draw it, it creates different meta patterns every time, right? So how you combine different sections, how you draw paradox in each of those sections, that will decide on what kind of a meta pattern do you create using paradox, right? So clockwise, anti-clockwise, one clockwise, one anti-clockwise, combinations, different combinations give different meta patterns, and so do different grids. Yeah, so you can see it's a small little space, but the line work looks almost something unique, right? Like this flower which is formed like a fan. So no matter what kind of space you are working on, just draw the lines in the fashion that they are supposed to be, and you will see the beauty of the tangle. One stroke, just the lines. So small space, so I'm just drawing without rotating. As I mentioned, you can very comfortably rotate the tile. So I am now on the last section, drawing the lines in the same fashion. Yeah, and now I'm going to complete adding my moons. One, two, three, and four. Yeah. So now that I have completed drawing my moons, I'm now going to first shade, and then we'll see if we want to add something else, right? So one side of this cube and the other side as far as the lower section is concerned, right? So here and this side. We can also add graphite here on both sides of the moon. So just add some graphite, not too much. But yes, we are more or less going to color those sections with the graphite only. So yeah, let us first blend, and then we'll see if we want to add something else. Yeah, so take away the graphite. So just trying to keep it a little darker towards the beginning and make it lighter as I approach towards the end. That's the only thing that I'm trying to do here. Yeah, subtle shading, not much. So we are almost coloring the entire section. However, we are trying a little of high and low here. Yeah, and then the moons. and we are done, right? So now it is up to us, what do we want to do with the rest of the tile. Paradox, I don't see much of a need to shade here, but if you want, you can touch it from here. Because spaces are small and the lines, I want them to show clearly, so I'm not going to add much of shading on my paradox. Yeah, and just slight blend. Yeah, so the rest of the tile, pick up any color of your choice, pick up a chalk pencil, pick up a brush pen, whatever is readily available with you, right? Let me see, what do I do? So I have picked up this chalk pencil that I have, and I really like the shade, right? So I'm just going to add this around my drawing. The tangling that I've done, just going to add a layer around it and then blend it. Yeah. So this is a chalk pencil, it's very easy to blend and you can use any brand of your choice. I'm using Cretacolor here. I really like it. It's very easy to blend. So you also get generals. So Zentangle headquarters I think uses generals. So whichever is readily available with you or as recommended by Zentangle headquarters, you can go with anything. I'm using this because it blends very nicely and gives a nice subtle background without adding too much of a boldness to the background. Yeah, so I'm just going to blend it. Just pick up a different Tautolon and blend it. Just take it away from the edges. Right, so simple exercise. Let me do this and I get back to you. So I have blended the chalk pencil. Now if you want, you can leave it here, add some puffs, add anything else of your choice, right? So I have this burgundy pen here and I'm just going to add these lines like this. Right, so just a nice subtle background. You can also break the lines to give a nice effect. Whatever spaces you have, you can also add sand swirls, spoolies, any tangle of your choice. There are a whole lot of tangles that you can place here in the background. Right, so just keeping it simple. You can also add puffs. There are so many tangle enhancers that you can use. So take your time and use your imagination to deck up your tile. Yeah. You can add poke leaves, whatever you feel like, right? So I think I'm going to stop here. I feel like giving a touch of this color on this side, so I'll just add a little touch so that it has some connection with the background. Yeah, so just a slight touch and some blending. You can keep it black and white, it's okay. You can color it with a brush pen, with your paint panel, whatever you feel like. So as I keep saying, there is no end to what you can do to a tile. You can keep on adding and adding. Yeah. So somewhere you have to decide, okay, that's it, and I don't want to do more. So I'm not a very color person, so I'm sure you can do a better job than me. And this is just to show you an idea, give you an idea, right? So this is how our tile looks like. I'm now going to close my tile here, add my chalk, right, and sign and date it. Today is 16th, and I will see you with another session on Paradox and Cubine, right? Thank you.